Welcome one and all, once more to whatever the fuck this is again. Hey, I don't even know. I'm terrible at intros, absolutely terrible. So last time we got pretty far into the user registration. I got I unit tested most of it. However, I kind of realized that I kind of missed some things. So yeah, we're gonna do everything that I put into the user story that I just skipped for some reason. So I've already kind of done some things off stream. So what I basically have done is I've added into input logic a function generator that will take an input and return validation result. This is just so that in the actual validate method I don't have to do some nonsense. I can just throw in one parameter and it would work. And that's it, right? Pretty simple. Now I'm gonna make an isValidUsername thing that will basically not allow you to register an account given a username that already exists. Which is really simple to do, honestly, so just do get by name. We'll see what that does, honestly. Now, for that in user logic, yeah, because this is in the logic, right? So the only thing I would need to do really is say name username is not null, question mark. So if it's not null, I mean, no, because I like me some if statements, okay? That's way easier. Get by name, username is not null in that scenario. Well, it is if it is null. Is the question actually. Then we return new validation result string, which is going to be true. Username null, right? Otherwise, return new validation result string, false, string not empty, and the username already exists. Right? So we can do something like that. However, I don't like this because I feel like every single time you do something like this, you need to have some type of either that or make it bold. I think that's the easiest way actually. But you can also just, for unit testing, this would be easier because then it's easier to just test, right? So we're going to do that here. I mean, you could make this bold, I guess, but nah. We can just do something like that. Right? I guess not valid, but just is new username. That would make the most sense. And then I gotta document it, obviously. Checks if entered username is doesn't already exist. That's the best way, probably. The username entered as input turns yeah, I think this one's still in the old version. Yeah, but this is true. That should be true, but this is not. It's an AC validation result T object. The result of validation. There we go. That's much better. So what we do first, if we check if this has more than or equal to 3 characters. If not, we return the result of that. And otherwise, we say get by name username is null. And if that is the case, then we return true because that's what we wanted. Otherwise, we return this. Right? It's as simple as that. Only thing you would theoretically need to do is in here, and I changed some of this to be a bit better with virtual, because now it's a lot more clean. It's super easy to read what this does. It's like barely any code at all, and before it was chaos because I was repeating so much shit. But in the register, yeah, to be fair, you probably want like some validation function, because it's not going to be the same in both. So if you check here, right now we have a password prompt that is virtual. You can basically change it to whatever you want. And here we do is valid password. Let's get password. Here, enter your username. I have this right now. We could say it's a new one, but that's dependent on the scenario. So we do need another one of these. Protect the virtual validation result string. Validator. For this one, it's going to be input logic dot has been charge free, and this is a func string gets the validator. I'll call it username validator. Validator for validating the username can be overridden. So here the only thing you would need is, well, I would even argue it's not empty, because really you don't get any validation at all outside of it just not being empty. And that we can then use here. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to take this and say, what was it called? So it's called username validator. And this would work, right? Yeah. So now, it's very simple function for validating username can be overridden. There we go. That's more clear. Then, only thing I would need to do is just go here, say protected, override, username validator. Only thing I would need to do is specify this as user logic dot is new username. And then, just because it wants it, I'll just do inherit doc. Should probably cover it. There we go. That's all I really need. And yeah, see, that's it. That's all the code for this now. It's so simple. And now, if I test it, right here, and to end the last session. Okay, so you see this? I click register a new account. Just Sean Hello app there, for example, and click confirm. Oh wait, hold on. I didn't test it. If I said like, you just confirm. So to create that account, right? If I wanted to do it again, state this, username Sean already exists. Right? Yeah, I'm definitely gonna fix the whole like clearing. That's like really hurting my eyes. I just don't like it. There's a better way to do this, because I only need to clear it whenever. Yeah, you really only need to clear it once, right? Basically, at the moment that you go back a menu, you should always clear the screen, because otherwise it's gonna overlap. So say now I try to put in Sean now, it will allow me to, even though it exists. Type in hello at there, and you confirm it, and it will log you in, right? Which you can't see anywhere right now, but that's fine. So that means we finished that. Now I forgot something in the password, which is that it needs to have also one number in it. That I think got erased at some point, but in theory that's extremely easy to do. So you see this right here? Just question mark equals dot asterisk 0 to 9 and then 1. Done. That's all you need to do. And then I need to change the things here. Number and symbol. Which means in the error message, or this is the error message, the print in register menu also has to change. To be fair, I'd rather just say, I mean, do I even want to change the password prompts? Because I feel like it looks very weird. Yeah, letter, number, and symbol. So we do this. We can simply just say here, try and enter a password. The password needs to be at least 8 characters long. Right, so if you type in hello at there, it will no longer work. Right? So enter hello at there 1. That works, and then you can say confirm. And it will make an account. See? So that works as intended. So we can mark that off. Meaning all we have to do is say the user is asked to enter their password again as confirmation. This part is just repeating the thing, so in confirm, before we hash it, we need to I guess recall that method. So this whole string.join just calling like this dot get password. We need basically a scenario where we can just reuse this method with a different prompt. Yeah, I don't know. Because in this scenario, it's the same thing. I think this scenario is better with a Boolean. You can have the same thing where it's like, you can have it all be stored in this one method. Say like, bool confirm equals true, right? Like, okay, or false. So instead of having this, we'll just have another one called protected virtual string confirm pass prompt. And instead of virtual, I guess you could technically do abstract, because this shouldn't be implemented at all in login menu because it's not necessary. Just with a getter. Right, so very yeah, because this is inside the options, which is fine. So I make this abstract because it doesn't matter really. Well, you should be able to make an instance of it now. So no, it would just be virtual, but virtual does nothing. Like virtual has no meaning. So like string.empty. Gets the confirmation password prompt used in get password rule. Is set to true. Can be overridden. I guess you could put this in remarks. I don't know. Unconfirm. Yeah, that's totally how you spell confirm. Set to true. Can be overridden. Guess in this case it should be overridden. Then it's going to be confirm question mark is not confirm pass prompt or just a pass prompt. See, that's what we're going to do it, and then parent name equals confirm determines to use and then slash parent. Yep. That's all, I think. So in theory, all I would need to do now is save that, and here I can just override that. So I can just say here, protected override, string confirm pass prompt. I mean, then again, Do you really need to override it? I don't think it's even worth overriding. Because it's just going to be the same thing, isn't it? I think it might actually be better to have this as it's like not virtual, but I guess say private string and remove the remarks of it being overridable, and then state. Oh yeah, it's in the wrong spot. We'll fix that later. Re-enter your patch. By re-entering it. Well, no, because I feel like it'd be a completely separate thing because you're checking something else. You're not checking any of that. You're just checking if it's equal. Like if I do this, for example, right? It will choose the confirm pass prompt, and then it's going to say validator, which is going to be its valid password, right? It'd be better to say if they're equal, print something, right? Plus this, none of this should happen. It shouldn't even fucking set anything. It should just be like, well, I should set the pass if it succeeds, I guess. But yeah, no, it's just simply true. So the thing is, you would have two different things that are different. Otherwise, I guess in input logic are equal. So just equal. Like public static just is equal. A string input value, which is going to return a func string, which is turns compare, then say simply if input value is equal to compare, return new true, what else? I guess input value doesn't matter. Null, otherwise return new false string.empty. Right. Be a message though, and this message is specific to the scenario. In general, my validate method doesn't really do much, does it? Because input helper, all it does is it automates the printing of the message. It also sets the value. That's what it automates. It's pretty simple. Right. But it needs to print a message specific to the scenario. Yeah, I can't do that because this would be a very specific scenario. Now, is equal is like the base thing, and then the actual thing would be a bit different. This triple equals like this is not. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, if input value is equal to compare, return this, otherwise this. But this is just for is equal. I want a specific message here. Equals. I don't know, man. It's kind of hard to decide on. It's kind of hard to decide how I want to combat this. Because we obviously have this. I mean, you could just compare it and have it be a separate thing altogether. And put it into the check here, like in the, where is it, the confirm action. Then check it again. And have that just be what it is. You only have to do that in the other one, so I mean, this does somewhat do what it needs to do, right? Because you're able to switch on basically the confirmation versus the normal password prompt. But this is one of those scenarios where you're changing quite a few things, so I don't know if it's worth doing like this. Right, like I don't know if that's worth it. We also have a print error specifically for this scenario, so also this is still just check if filled here. I already have like a fields filled thing. If this not fields filled, why is that not being used? Oh, because I see, because I stopped using this. I shouldn't break anything in register menu. I think this should just be normal, and whatever input you give will then just say whether or not it will do it, right? Because that doesn't matter. So the confirm is useless, right? And so is the private string here. I can leave this at this, don't get password. The only thing I would need to do is do something in here. Right. I think the easiest way to do this is to go into register menu, go into here. So this, just say like your password to confirm registration. Should be false by default. Right, so now that's default. So, yeah, so string confirm pass if I don't have to like do some order nor case stuff, so I can just say if this login to confirm pass or just rather if it's not equal console dot or input helper dot print error password did not match the previously entered password. And if that's the case, you will stay in there, but this will just return, I guess. I mean, everything takes you over to the next line though. I could also say if confirm action return or something. So then like make it a boolean. If you make it a boolean, then you can force it to stop. But you can also say it brings you right back because the confirmation failed. Although I would say personally, don't store it. Just throw it in here. Why? Because then it's a little less troublesome. I can say string prog though. That's not a problem. It's just that the password itself should just be removed immediately. Right? And then that's what that is. Yeah, this is way simpler. So I stated yeah, because we don't hash the password yet, right? It's still there. Pretty sure it's still there. It doesn't get hashed immediately. So, like Sean, right? And then confirm. Let's say hello at there. Okay, that's a problem. Set this to true. I to true. Yeah, and then it works. There we go. See, and then it works. So I just have to hide it, and I've done that. So Why is this like this? Did they like recently update us or something? It's just like that panel was like completely changed. Well, whatever. Yeah, and if it fails, then so this is the best way I can do it, I think. Which means now it does ask for your password again as confirmation. Which means this can be set to, well, I still gotta test it, so I guess to test. So now what we gotta do is go back to our unit tests, run them again. See, well, this valid password now fails because all these do anyway, because throw a number somewhere. Rerun. And these work now, and strings differ. Oh yeah. Because these obviously letter, number, and symbol. So rerun again. And now they all succeed. Beautiful. But I'm gonna have to make more because we add some more logic stuff. Because if you were to run this, for example, okay, apparently that made this fail. It's an argument no exception. Well, I guess that can't be null. I guess, isn't string.empty technically allowed? No, it's not. You have to do it like that. Yeah, so no, that one will work. Because null is like going to break it. Which I guess means I shouldn't get rid of it. I should just update the thing to make sure that it's like, you know, that won't cause any issues. That's is valid password. So the only thing you would need to do in theory is go to user logic right here. Say if import is not null and now that shouldn't be a problem. Yep, now it works. But that doesn't mean we're done. For some reason, it's not. Why is it doing PHP? I have no fucking clue. Well, we need to make some more unit tests. So give me a sec. Close the things that we don't need. So for user logic, we need to do is new username. In general, have we done the setup? Yeah, we have. So we've made two ones. So we're gonna say one that succeeds and one that fails, right? So I'm gonna say theory, inline data. To be fair, I'm kind of more of a fan of MS Test. This is a kind of strange variant. It's kind of hard to see what you're doing wrong. Might switch back to MS Test because MS Test is like, I don't know, it's strange, but like, I don't know, I like it more. just because you're actually able to maybe see the test coverage, like in line, but like here, I don't know, man. Yeah, you can do it if you get like a code lens extension, but that is really dumb. That's kind of why I'm thinking like maybe I should switch back to like because like okay, XUnit is interesting, right? It's an interesting thing, but I don't know if I want to use it. I feel like MSTest is just better in some ways. I mean the AI told me that was not the case, but I personally think, well, one, it's clearer, because like I actually had to look up what fact and theory was, and inline data and all these other things. Well, MSTest is very clear on what you need to do, but yeah. With this, you're able to do a whole lot more in terms of async, which is why XUnit is more preferred by a lot of people. But yeah, I guess you could just get that extension code lens, and you can probably just see all the things. But yeah, it's kind of annoying that I can't. Right? That's what I'm saying. So public void. I'm just gonna have to base it on what I have. Is new username success string name. You know, and just say like Sean and John. Right? Those are the ones I have. Right, and then we can just say arrange act. I never know what the point of arrange is because I barely ever use it. Act in the server only ones you really need. So variable res val error equals user logic dot is new username name. Assert dot true res assert dot not equal string not empty val, I guess, right? Because val would be that. Then assert dot not no well, assert dot null error. Right? That's all you really do for that. You copy paste whatever you have here. This would be is new username fail, non-existent, empty, and null. So always test null, always test null. Like that's a requirement. Because otherwise things may go wrong, and this should be not null. Except I personally like to test the exact string. Although again, here that starts to get annoying here, because what you would have to do is you have to actually use a range here. You have to get all possibilities, right? Every single possible fail that can exist. Which this is where I just maybe sometimes it's better to say say it's like, oh, it's just not null. In general, I feel like checking for exact errors. What's really the point of that? Like, it's not. There's no real point. Just check if it's not null. You're good. Yeah, let's run them. See what it does. Not true. Failed here. Oh, it's the opposite. Hold on. And this would be Sean, John. My apologies. I literally just rotated what I was actually supposed to do. Hilarious. A true failure. You sure about that? Wait, film on the empty. How is... Oh yeah, because empty and null also, I think null would also fail, because these... No, I think these would belong in fail, because those are things that can go wrong. Maybe I also should check for case sensitive stuff. Seems to have worked. So what I did is I changed it, and I can see something that doesn't exist and also something that's upper and lowercase. That's what we've tested. I think that works. So that's everything for isUsername. Pretty much all we're meaning for user logic tests in general. So let's go to unit testing, utilities, input logic tests. Okay, so we're going to say theory, inline data, public void and what did we have in there? As long as I close these other tabs, and then open up input logic right here. Okay, so we have is not empty, has min chars, yeah. Has min chars, success. So this is going to require an int min chars, so string input int min chars. So let's say arrange act assert. So in range, I guess we'll say variable func equals what would that be? The input logic dot has min chars, that's our function, and we'll say variable res val error equals func given input. It's dividing a function into two different sections, right? That's what we're doing here. Multiple unknown variables. I know, right? Crazy. Assert.trueRes, assert.not equal string.empty, and val assert.null error. Done. Yep, for once I actually have to use a range. Shouldn't believe it. Say like hello, minimum of 3. Say 17 would be like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, I don't know. Some longer ones, maybe some shorter ones. It's the best way to do it. So like A1 to be equal. Because equal is also allowed. Yep. And that's it for that. So let's do it again. Very inline data. I'm not gonna try. It's just fucking copy paste. It's the same fucking thing, okay? So I just say fail. So first we're just gonna say hello, but it needs 6. Then we're gonna say this, but we're say like all things that can go wrong is that it can be above, slightly above, be above, but way too much. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Come on, there. And then empty. And also test null, because, you know. Okay. Yeah, so this is the best way to do it. Test it, see what happens. Oh, this failed. Which ones in specific failed? Because I've done basically all of these tests here. Okay. Fail was failing, okay. Oh yeah. No wonder I forgot to change this. And there we go. That should fix it. Let's run that. Yep. That might just been done for logic 100%. Nice. So now we have officially unit tested everything in this user story. So, okay. That means we can actually start making the changes. What is this? What did I change here? I don't even know what I changed there. Data sources. No, why would I remove that? That's exactly how it should be. Discard. User access. Right, because this is what I apparently got rid of it. Hold on, if I do that, I check user access, right? Was that removed now? No, it was most likely it got removed here as well. Yeah, because I undid a bunch of stuff on accident, so yeah. Okay, user logic, one would be add here. No, utilities was added, and is new username. Okay, yeah, that's what we added. So added is new username method to user logic. Added new has minchars factory method into input logic. Boom. Then we have helper. Made hide parameter of ask input optional. To be fair, let me just change some things here. False by default. What? No. Okay. Now if you click this, it should have updated. Yep. So commit. What else do we got? Oh yeah, this is to make more use of virtual and added username validation / confirm password validation to register menu. and then just do both of these unit tests at once. Fix the now doing a test. User registration. No, I just need a registration. Commit. Now make a branch. We can put this. Publish branch. Okay, so that means now, in theory, we finished it. We finished everything of user registration, finally. So this can be set to done right here. This is all on my own private repository, by the way. So let me just do this. Oh yeah, I guess an easier way to do this, and I think that this is something that some other people do, is what they do is they say checkout to origin/main, or well, for me it'd be dev branch, right? And then they say pull from this. Yes, okay. Right? That's a way easier way to do this. I don't have to constantly make a new fucking pull request. Especially if it's like on your own thing. Like if it's your own repository, why bother? So I'm gonna remove this. Keep the dev branch. Alright. Cool. So there you go. That is all of that done, I think. Moving on to our next thing, you can actually, I'm gonna actually paste it into tasks so you can see what it is. See, issues. This is where it's gonna get complicated, okay? So first I'm gonna, I guess, copy the markdown of the user story first. Probably be the easiest, right? So, yeah, none of this is testable. I don't give a shit about that. Wait, why is object being tested? What? I don't fucking know, man. Where is the task? I always forget when I put it. Okay, here. So this right here is our user story. I just do like hashtag user story. It's the easiest way to do it, really. And then hashtag tasks. Alright, so that's our user story. This is all based on songs and artists and whatever. So it's going to get a little crazy in terms of ERD that we're going to have to make. Or, well, quote unquote, make. Let me see what the first step is. Usually when it comes to this, I do data models first. Because data models is always like the easiest. And it goes into the DAL, right? So easiest is to do this. So this is our it's a pretty long task. So ignore the user story for now because that's not relevant for me. This is what we're gonna have to look at. So we're going to make a couple data models, starting with song base, right? I'm gonna close this. Let's just close everything so that it's not too overwhelming. Okay, let's go to data models. So far you just have color and user, and that's it. But let's move on to songbase.cs. So namespace project.data models. There we go. Now we're going to do whatever it tells me to do. Public record song base. Right? We're going to have a public long ID, which is going to have a get and private set. And that's just documentation. Okay, so that's going to be that. And we're going to have a public string name get private set. We're going to have a public genre that we're still going to have to define. That's actually not in the task, I don't think, but we're going to have to define that. Yeah, I don't for some reason. Interesting, because that would definitely be the first step. And then public string description get private set public string release date get private set, and then public byte array audio file get private set, because the song has audio, obviously. So then at the very top, because that's what style cop wants, I'm going to say public song base long ID string name genre, again doesn't exist, but genre, string description, string release date, if I wasn't so incompetent, and then byte array audio file, which is just going to, well, can I just select this and have you implement it for me? Don't think so. This generates. Well, that's useful, I guess, but would normally do that anyway. I don't know. It doesn't want to do it for me. Then I'm just gonna do it on my own, because that's a pain in the ass. This dot name equals name. This dot genre equals genre. This dot description equals description. This dot release date equals release date. This dot audio file equals audio file. Really interesting stuff. Absolutely riveting. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. The ID of the song. The name of the song. The genre of the song. The description of the song, the release date of the song, and the audio file for this song. So here, same thing. Gets the ID of the song, gets the name of the song, genre of the song, gets the description of the song, gets the release date of the song. Did I put spaces there? Yeah, I did. And lastly, it gets the audio file of the song. Audio file for this song. There we go. and then some documentation for the record itself. The base class for song objects and station details. I guess, because I don't want you to like do much with song base. Song base is only for like inserting. With the DAL, right? With inserting. SQL insertions, Dapper insertions would make more sense. Yeah, CRF, yeah, okay, so that makes sense. Yeah. We don't have genre, and I, for some reason, didn't comment on what genre was. Kind of stupid on my part, but that we also have to make its own data model, so genre.cs. If you don't know what genre is going to be, well, first let me project.data.data models, at file header, we're going to say public enum genre, and above this we're going to say flags, because this is going to be a flagged enum. Now I don't remember what the enum values are, so I'm going to see if I can go, because in hindsight you shouldn't be able to see this. I can just go into another file. Don't know how that's going to go. It's going to use the same window or not. Just going to see if it sees my folders here. Oh yeah, okay, so you can't see it. Good. Then I'm just gonna go into one of my older projects. I think it was testing. Don't know what's gonna happen if I do this. What it will be showing. Okay, so it just shows you this. No problem. I need to just find what I had. Here it is. Because I had already done this before, so I'm not gonna do it again because that would take forever. So it'd be this. Open this up. I'm gonna take this, paste it. So this right here is the public enum. And as you can see, I'm using a lot of left bit shifts because this is flagged. Remote flags, of course it did. Wait, do I have to do documentation here? Yeah, okay. Represents a song genre as a bit flagged enum. Sorting genres into several categories. There we go. Now, here's where the true hell begins, okay? So I have to document every single one of these genres. Of course I do. Okay. The default value for genre does not work. Any genre. The classical genre. Value 2. I guess you can say like value, right? Because that's a thing you can use. 2. Let me just say equal to right? Numeric value 2. And then we're going to copy paste this. For every single one of them, which is going to take a while. Value 8, I guess, because it's times 2 every time. 2 to the power 3 is 8 after all. Also easiest to just paste this every time. The ambient genre, numeric value is 16. It's gonna get worse and worse every time. The ambience. Now it's the chip step genre. You could also argue, I guess, that I should like order this from in alphabetical order. It would make more sense that way. But this is how it was listed in like on Newgrounds. So this is pretty much what I'm gonna roll with, because this is, I guess, what they deem the most important and the least important. Alright. So this is the dance genre. I guess in remarks you can also say like which category they belong in. We'll do that later, I guess. So we're just starting out simple. Equal to numeric value 128. The dubstep genre, 256. This is going to be house, which is going to have 512. That's not what I wanted to do. This is the industrial genre, which is going to be 1024. The new wave genre will be 2048. The synthwave genre, 4096. Then we've got techno genre, which is 9,000. This is where it starts to get a bit difficult to calculate in my head. 9192. 9192, right? Because this would be 12 and then, yeah, so 9192, which is the techno genre. This is going to be the trance genre, which is going to be even worse. 18,384. It's getting worse and worse. The video game genre. Pretty sure this was calculated by AI, so there's gonna be some bugs here probably. So, alright. This would be 36,768. I'm really smart. Okay, the hip-hop modern genre, which is okay, so that's 73,000 before five okay, so 536, I think. As I said, this is where it gets a bit complicated to calculate without a calculator. This is hip hop old school. We're gonna say now 147, right, because 147K and 072 and 47,072. The nerdcore genre. It's getting a bit ridiculous. Okay, so I mean, it's probably easier if you said like this and then do it then like that. So we 4 then 14, so right, be 14 followed by 0, so that's just 1, and then be 14 again, so 14 like this, and 9 2, so that'd be 294,144. Is that right? Let me just check if I'm not being a dumbass. 147,072 times 2. 294,144. Yeah, okay. So that is a viable strategy for calculating this with my brain. Fantastic. The R&B. What? Okay, there's the R&B, the R, and why is and? I think I'm talking about a reference for some reason. Okay then, the R&B genre, sure. Okay, so we say this plus itself, we get 8, 2, 8, 18, 5. 588, 288, okay. Yeah, it's getting a bit ridiculous to do just with your brains. You gotta kind of write it down for yourself. Okay. The Brit pop genre. Whatever that is, I don't even know what that is, but okay. So we have, what, 16 followed by 16, which means 7 here, 1 here. Followed by 5, so that'd be 4 plus 1, yeah. And then 16, 16, followed by a whole thing, so 10, which would mean that. So that is now already getting pretty big, right? Now it's 1176576, over 1 million. For BitShip 19. So that's, yeah, we've got a whole lot more to go. Classic rock genre. This is going to be, okay, well, we would have 12, 14, 10, so right, 10, and then 12, and 14, 2, and 2. So 235, 3152. Pretty sure. Maybe I should also do this just so that people know how much it actually is. Might be useful, right? See, like, we're already like super low here. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. That was classic rock. Now we're gonna do general rock. General rock. So now, what do we get? Well, we're gonna get 4, 10, so that would be that. Then 2, so 3. Then 6. That. 7.4. So 4.706.304. Wow. Really getting big here. We're already bigger than what an integer can actually handle. The grunge genre, whatever that is, I don't even know what that is. Okay, so again, we'll have 8, 0, 6, 12, 0, and 14. 9, so 9.412.608. So that's becoming very big. The heavy metal genre. How many more do we gotta go? Oh, quite a lot. Yes, this was heavy metal. No, not quite. We have to do this calculation. So 16, 0, 12, yes, 5, 2, 8, 18. It's 18,825. And that's it for heavy metal. The indie genre. 12, 3, 4, 0, 1, 5, 16, 16 again, so okay, so that's 37.650.432. It's getting ridiculous. The pop genre. Which is going to be 4, 6, 8, 0, 10, so 12, so that'd be 13, 14, so that'd be that, and then, so that's now 75.300.864. I'm gonna do it without a calculator, guys, don't worry about it. It's gonna happen. Funk. Okay, so we've got 8, 12, 16, so like that. 0, 0, 6, 10, 14, so like that. So now 150 million, as you can see. The cinematic genre. So that is going to be 16, 5, 14, 3, 0, 12, stay at 1, 10, 3, right? So 301.203.456. This is massive. It's getting very massive. The experimental genre. So now it's going to be 12, 10, 8, so that'd be 9, 6, 0, 4, 2, 0, 6. That one's pretty easy. The funk genre. 4 to 18, 12, so like that. Nothing. 8, 4, 0, 12. Okay, we're into billions. Yeah, we're into billions now. It's getting a bit ridiculous. Fusion. Oh yeah, I forgot to get rid of the equals. There we go. So then we've got 8, 4, 16, 7, 2, 16, 8, so that'd be 9, 0, 4, and 2. 2.409.627.648. Yeah, now you can see we're using one L instead because it's now so big that you need to specify that it needs to be a long. One, because normally it thinks this is like an integer, but pretty much right here, the original one. Now you have to specify it's a long so that it actually can go beyond and doesn't become like a negative number. Yes, this diffusion genre. This is going to be the Goff genre. So we got 16, 9, 12, 14 there. So this would be 5, 12 again, 18, Jesus Christ. That'd be 0, 8, 4. So that's the number now for Goff. The miscellaneous genre. Although you would think miscellaneous would just be its own thing, but I don't know. Then you have 12, 18, so that would be this. So this would be 5 now. This is going to be 10. This is also going to be 10. And this is going to be also this. Then we're going to do 18. This becomes free. That's 16. And then this would be 9. The 9.638.510.592. Wow. For ska. What are we dealing with when we're talking about ska? Then it's going to be 4, 18, just add a 1, 0, 2, 10 again, 16, so that. This becomes 7, right, and then 12, and then 19, right, so yeah, so this would become this. So now we have 19,277,021,184. Yeah, it's getting ridiculous. Okay. So this is the last one. The world genre. Keep going, get rid of the equals in the description. Okay. So now we've got 8, 16, 3, 2, 4, 0, 14, another 14, and then that, and then 18, followed by that. So now we have the end result is this value: 48,554,042,368, and the rest are just like a combination because that's how categories work. So the easy listening category . I think I should state in the things themselves what category they belong to, right? Although this could be easier, I don't know. So like instead of just saying the name of it, you also state what they're a part of. Also, because of these descriptions, this file is like almost 300 lines long. Holy shit. Part of the C. I don't know what classical is part of, but we'll find it. Easy listening. Category. Right, that's all you really have to do. So we're gonna just copy this. Now I gotta check where jazz is, right down here. It's also there. So instrument is there. Ambient is part of the next category, which is electronic, I guess. Yeah, electronic, which goes until video game, right? So that goes until video game. Ambient to video game is just the same thing. So this is electronic. Is this even electronic anymore? I don't even know this is electronic anymore. I don't think this is electronic anymore. Oh, here it is. Yeah. So after video game, we should jump over to the next. So hip hop modern is part of rap. So change this to rap. Every single one here has to change to rap. Britpop isn't rap anymore, right? Or Britpop is metal rock. Metal rock category. Okay. That was general rock. So after general rock, oh yeah, this goes all the way until punk. Okay, interesting. So all the way until punk. So you just copy paste a million times. There we go. Now we gotta state that it's other, right? That's it. Funk, fusion, goth, miscellaneous, ska, world. The electronic category. Genres, EDM, science too. genres that are more relaxing. I'm just talking out of my mouth here, by the way. I don't know shit about music. Okay, the rap category. Genres. I guess, I don't fucking know. The metal rock category contains genres based on metal or rock. The other category the remaining categorized genres. Yep. So finally, that means I have documented this entire fucking email. Dude, this is like 300 lines long. Holy shit. Mainly because of documentation. It wouldn't even be that long if that wasn't the fucking case. So, alright. That means I have finished the song base thing, right? Is it because this fully compiles now? So yeah, there you go. Well, nope, not quite. Because we don't have a song object, but for the rest, yes. Let's just also make a song thing, I guess. I can't really commit it because it's, you know, well, I guess I can commit the genre. Enum to, well, let me change branch though. Create branch, view song, data models, sure. In song objects, flagged enum, because I can do that no problem. Just can't do this one. Don't have the song object, which I guess is our next goal. The song record. So we're now going to make a new one called song.cs, which is going to be namespace project dot data models, but also can I add file header public record song, which inherits from base song, oh no, song base, my bad. This one is going to have, let me just mark these, I'm supposed to mark them on here. Inherits from song base, so it has a time only duration, public time only duration, it's just a get, don't think you need to set that at all. just be set in the constructor. For the rest, what else do we gotta do? So time only duration, a string temp audio path. Get private set. Though I'm not even sure if you should even set it. And what else? Because I haven't finished them, but a list artist of artists, right? So we're gonna need to have a, oh yeah, need to space them out. Public list of artists equals this equals new list artist, I guess. I don't know. For now, can't really say much about it. And then override the toString. So I'd say let's do the constructor first. This is practically the same. Can I is there a constructor thing? I don't know. Well, whatever. Long ID, string name. What was it? Song base. Okay, so genre. String description. String release date. And byte array audio file. This ID, name, genre. Release date, audio file. Oh no, not this. Base. I mean, you can use, you know, like these, like, base class things. I mean, to be fair, I think this is a good use case of inheritance, but also at the same time, do you really need it? I mean, I think it's an alright thing to do if you, like, are using joins, right? I think it's great if you're using joins, because then it's like, you can have one extra class that allows you to like have the actual details of it, right? But you could also theoretically make another constructor that would do that for you, having the same object. It's just a new fucking constructor, and it just adds a few extra details. However, it's less messy if you do it like this, because then you know exactly what this does. So I'm gonna keep it. I think it's fine. I'm just gonna say this and then followed by inherit doc if I can. What do you mean with inheriting class? Apparently if I do this, it does work. That only does there. So if I state like slash param and then inherit doc. No, see, I'm trying to use inherit doc here, right? But it won't allow me to. Right? No, it does. It just doesn't recognize it. Yeah, because it thinks that I'm using it with an inheriting class, but that I'm not using the inheriting class because I guess it doesn't recognize constructors. In general, it is probably a better idea to make these private and have a I mean, it doesn't matter though. It really does not matter. So it just wants me to redo what I already did somewhere else because it's fucking style cop, and style cop is so fucking outdated. Like, it's absolutely absurd. I think though, the song base, I mean, yeah, once we're gonna start going to like localization though, this is gonna be a really good one because it will just get the localized version instead, I guess. Well, no, because you're getting it anyway. It's just to get it so that you have like a list, right? That's like the big difference it has. But you can just add those to like a private list or something, right? But at least it's in a different object. It's the same object, same parameters. Only difference is we're adding extra stuff on top that you can do things with, which means it's less chaotic, in my opinion, right? Right? So what we can do here is simply just say duration equals, so this dot duration equals, this is a complicated one. How do you do that? Okay, so how do you get the length of an audio file, which is a byte array? I think there's okay. How would you get the duration of audio file as a byte array in C#? Get audio duration would just be using a memory statement MP3 file reader. Yeah. Do I have an audio? I'm not sure. But yeah, you would say, I mean, I would argue this needs to be its own method as a utils file, right? I would say this goes into logic, goes into here, just make like a new file, which is going to be byte utils, right? We're going to say namespace project.logic.utilities, right? Public, what did I do? This is a static class, right? So yeah, public static class byte utils, public static time span, get duration given a this byte array bytes, so we're going to say using memory stream equals new memory stream given bytes, okay, right, we're going to say time span span equals what was it? So if you were to do it, what is, you would have to say MP3 file reader, which reader is reader at all time, right? So using MP3 file reader equals given stream. So, and then you return reader.total time. Supposedly. However, this reads from MP3, which I don't know if that's ideal. Who cares? It most likely works, right? So, yeah, we just do this. That's how we get the duration. Get audio duration, call that. So then I can just say like audio file dot get audio duration. Oh, it's not time span, time only, which is as a time span. How do you convert this? Okay, hold on. If I say time only dot from time span, here we go. And say this is a time only. Well, no, what I can say is I can just, this is fine, having it be a time span. Right, that's fine. Just make sure you say time only dot from time span. Because then you can do that. And temp audio path, this dot temp audio path. This one's a pretty complicated one because this has to do with the name of the file, which is pretty complicated. I don't think I said much about this in the task, did I? No, just there is one. I didn't really specify what to do with it. But like in theory, a temporary audio path would be your temporary file path, right? And then with that you would have like the name of the song, which is you could just do name in theory, but you can also do it based on its actual official metadata. So yeah, accessing the metadata. Now what else can I access with the MP3 file reader actually? So like if I have reader dots, can write current time ID3v1 tag, ID3v2 tag. Wait, what is? So that's how you could actually check if it's an MP3 file. If it's a reader, if it's an MP3 at all, you can do that. Wave format. You know, I don't think there's anything else really interesting. Length, wave format, position, current time bold, can read, can seek. Yeah, no, I don't think there's anything else. So when it comes to accessing metadata, it's very complicated. So this is going to be public static string get name metadata. What if I just do like a generic like get metadata of a this byte array bytes? Okay, how to get all metadata in from a byte array in C#, not C. I don't want to know how to do that in C. Tag lib sharp. Here you have to use tag lib sharp. And using tag lib. Wait, what did it say? ID free tags. I don't know how to do that anymore. I used to know how to do this, but I don't know anymore. Stackmap.file not create. Create. Well, that has some ambiguity to it. It's easier to do that. I just say like tag lib.file not create. Yeah, there we go. And then normally you would take a string path, where you can create a string file abstraction. So, what you're supposed to do here This is going to be in our, I guess, data abstraction here. Right, because technically it's an abstraction. Abstraction. Stream abstraction is what they call it, I think. So, namespace project.data abstraction public class stream abstraction, which is going to be from taglib.file file abstraction. Yeah, so let me try to implement them. Okay. That's just a constructor-based thing. So just do like get. Right. The name of the stream abstraction. Or can you just use inherit doc? Yeah, you just inherit doc. Probably be better that way. No, best to do is the summary only, because the rest is not necessary. We can just take this, copy paste it a couple times. And then make a public stream abstraction, stream name, read stream, stream, write stream. We can just say this dot name equals name, this dot read stream equals read stream, this dot write stream equals write stream. And name gets the name of the abstraction. Gets a readable, seekable stream. Just keep it short, I guess. And then gets a writable stream to write to. Abstraction E to read from, the stream to write to, and then just do inherit doc, I don't give a shit. is the stream to close. And that will be just empty. Or it will just be stream.dispose. Right? And because it's that, you might as well make it even shorter. Shorthand. There we go. Of course, I gotta add the file header. Gotta do this. Represents an abstracted stream provider that wrap allows to work for priorities. Alright. New stream abstraction. So that's that. What exactly are they doing with that though? Yeah. File. Sure. The temporary file name pretty much. That's what that is, I'm pretty sure. So I guess memory file. Oh yeah, and we have to say using variable ms equals memory stream. And that I mean new memory stream. And then you can say ms. Then return this value. Value dots. Yeah, so now what we need to do is we need to take every single one and convert it to some type of like dictionary. Well, we can group it, right? So we can say like yeah. Yeah, you can just say what type though? The string followed by it's a string followed by millions of different things. Yeah, so the properties. Yeah, file.properties. Yeah, what is value.properties then? The type is value.properties. Tackle.properties. I make sure you pass some bytes. But, okay. What is properties? Okay, so it has codex, duration, media types, description, audio bitrate, sample rate, sample, audio channels, video width, height, photo width, photo height, photo quality. This is decompilation. That doesn't have what I'm looking for. I want to get the name of the file. So like the title, right? It's just configuration and media types. What does media types have then? It's an item. Oh yeah, okay, I see what that is. No, that's not relevant. Description. Audio bitrate. Is this just... No, I just want I want the name. Is that in there? So like, value dots. Yeah, value dot name is in there. So we're gonna have to make some crazy dictionary like thing for this. Or of course we can just say we return value. And that allows you to use that for metadata, right? So what does this do exactly? Well, okay. Retrieves the metadata for the given byte array. The byte array to retrieve the metadata from. Yeah. A taglib.file object with the metadata, the given byte array. Here as well. Reuse the audio duration. Wait, so that, but that's in here. So in theory, this just returns, this will return get metadata given bytes dot properties dot duration. The audio duration the byte or the audio duration from returns time span object representing the total duration of the song or of the byte array. Yep, that should work. Now I'm using a non-wave, I'm just getting it by this. Although it would be more memory efficient, I guess, because you wouldn't have to get everything and then... Nah, I mean, it's roughly the same though. And here you don't have to read from MP3, you can just get it from anything, which is way better. Okay. How do I explain string utils? Static class for, oh yeah. Okay, so this is a static class for byte array manipulation. And metadata extraction. There we go. That's clear to me. Oh yeah, there we go. That's not a problem anymore. So now, what I can say is the temporary audio path is going to be path dot get temp path, and then we're going to say path dot combine path dot get temp path followed by name. We're still not done because we also need to have something in string utils again. Sadly, and that would be the name you would extract from it. So again, probably should just make some like thing for that. This shit comes down to just being this. Wow, that was difficult, right? Yeah, we get to just reuse that. Get name. You could also make this an extension and have these as properties. Because these are more like properties, I think, rather than, might be easier. Extension, byte array, then put everything tab. Instead of, let's just say duration. Metadata. Tab. Field. Right, because I feel like you can do this. Right? You have to be able to. But it thinks I mean, I know you can do this somehow, but I forget how to reference. Because it's a property, so it's based on the value. That's where I just to figure out how this works. No, you know what? I'm gonna go back on myself. I'm gonna go and keep it back to what it originally was because I think an extension. Yeah, I think that's kind of stupid. Although, I mean, you could make these. Okay, well, listen, you could use this. I think. Like, what, how would you know what the value is though? So that's like the problem I'm having. Like, I don't know how I would do that. Because I'm an idiot. That's why I've just completely forgotten how this works. Whatever. I'll just leave it as a method for now. Maybe I'll change it later. It's not that hard to fix. Once I know how to fucking do it. Yeah, so now what you can say is you can just say audio file dot. Well, yeah, I don't have the name one in there. I was gonna do that. No, I do have it. Well, I didn't do it for a second. Get name. Why is that time span still? I haven't updated this, that's why. So this should be dot name. Okay, so should we use the name in the metadata of a byte array? Name from, and then strong representation of the name metadata. There we go. Right? That should work. Yeah, if I'll look at name, there we go. But yeah, I mean, yes, you could probably turn these into extension methods, right? My guess. I mean, no, you would have to know what the binary is, though, so I don't know. I don't know how I used to do it. Maybe it's just because I'm tired. Who knows? Yeah, so we set that, and then we just have a list artist of artists. Yeah, that one's hard to do if you don't give it a parameter. Yeah, I can't really like make this into an object and then have it be less parameters. Unless, yeah, I mean, I could do like an overload where it's just you take the song base in instead. It's just less, right? But for list artist, how are we going to do that? Well, most likely it's going to be initialized, and then that's about it. So we're going to specify get, but this is going to be I'd say, should it be private? And then you just have like things that allow you to get it. I don't know. I could keep it public, I guess. It doesn't really matter. Well, no, because it is I'm gonna do private, so you can't accidentally like manipulate it, right? And oftentimes when you're doing this type of thing, it's better to say private read only, and then force this upwards before the constructor. Artists, there we go. And then if we have the artist object, we'll be able to do that. Now let's document these. The gets the duration of the song as a time only object, and gets the temporary audio file path for downloading the song from the terminal. Yeah, alright. The temp audio path, just got rid of these little random spaces. What else? This is in the wrong spot. Make sure to do that. Again, we don't have the artist thing, so that's going to have to be blank for now. What I will do, though, is probably make another overload for this, because I feel like that'd be nice. To have a song base, at base, and then, yeah, that's it. Which is then going to do this, at base.id, at base.name, at base dot, what was it, genre, at base dot, what was next, description, yeah, at base dot release date, at base dot audio file, yeah. Instead of base, it would be this, yeah. And it doesn't do anything else, it's just, you know, throwing a different object. The song base object to this object. Sure. So I think that's all of that done for now. There's also a toString, I guess. Right, so we haven't done the toString yet. We have done pretty much all the other stuff. It's more than we have to override this line in between. So yeah, so this is printing. Although I would argue we should just make a separate menu. That would just display, not display, but just say like, oh, this is the name of the song. That would be the header of like what this is the name of the song. And then all we're gonna do is we're just gonna allow you to choose which one you wanna view, right? Because that's a whole lot less of a pain in the ass. And we're not even gonna do a toString. And because it's a record, we don't even have to implement iEquatable or iComparable. It's already done for us. Actually, I don't know if iComparable does a record implement iComparability. Don't know if it does that. I know it does iEquatable. Yeah, so it doesn't. Yeah, you would have to explicitly tell it to have an iComparable. Are we gonna do that for song base? Yeah, because then it would just be carried over, right? So although, well, I mean, no, we're never gonna be using song base. Song base is just simply just for inserts. So it's just gonna be in here. iComparable song. Means somewhere here we're going to have to implement public int compare to song other. As usual, if other is null, return -1, I think. I always forget. And otherwise, how are we going to compare it? Well, I mean, what do we want? Do we want... If we're trying to sort a song, I'd say first order of business is sorted by ID. We don't even really need to do that. I'd say just sort by name. So int name equals name dot name this dot name compared to other dot name, and then say if name is equal. It's not equal to 0, return name. Now the other one is going to be what else are we going to do? So you sort in ascending order for name, but what else can we sort on? The count. I'd say the count of composers or artists, right? Yeah, so then in descending order, right? So say like descending equals other dot artists dot count dot compared to this dot artist dot count. And then if then it is not equal to 0, you return artist descending. That's all you do. And then what else can we sort on? Then I would say like release date or something like that. Or say like we do a release date first. So like int release date equals, which would be newest first or oldest first? I'd say newest first, right? No, let's say that, no, that should be the last one. So then right down here we can just say return this dot release date. By the way, here. Yeah, the thing is, you can't compare to it because it's not a datetime object. Let's say I wanted to Yeah, so what they do here is do by release date value. Oh, you can use new. I forgot that was even a keyword. So what you can do, and this is actually very useful, and this is kind of how I wanted to do it anyway, you can say public datetime release date get private set, or rather not even this, just be this dot release date dot. No, like I would say making this a property is kind of stupid, right? Because like you only want to calculate it once, you don't want to do it multiple times. Like properties are good if it's like dynamic state, but it's not dynamic state, so I would just say get private set. And I would have to set up like a new datetime release date. What if I did inherit doc? Does it allow me to do that? No. Gets the datetime object of song base dot release date. Yeah, so all I would have to do here is I would have to say this dot datetime or release date equals, well, release date dot or datetime dot parse exact in, yeah, and let me see, release date in YYYY MMDD MMSS, because that's the format that gets used with that. And then the provider, oh, it's saying like culture info culture. Again, this is one of those things that I should put into like some type of datetime utils thing, because that would just make it way easier. Is that it? Let's see here. So I've done that. Just have to do compare to. So I can say this time release it dot compare to other dot release date. And that works. See? So now we have our compare to. Just gotta give it that. I could probably just say inherit doc though, right? First current instance with another object of the same type and returns an integer that indicates whether the current store order as the other object. In fact, do I even need any of this? Hold on, can I go and view what that was in iComparable? Yeah, because it does this nightmare. Well, the only thing I have to do is just the summary, right? Why would you do that, Microsoft? That's not how you document shit, but okay. So, what you do is you can say summary, as long as you put a proper space into there, slash summary. I can say whatever this is, without the slash summary, because that's pointless. Right? And then the only thing I would need to do, the current song object, I have another song object, and returns nature indicates whether the current song precedes or occurs in the same position in the sort order as the other song object, or just as the other song. There we go. So now it says this. Yeah, there we go. I don't even have to do much for it compared to. That's why I have to document there. So that means we've got that whole fucking thing sorted out here. Compared to is really just like, compared to is one of those things you always forget how it works. Listen, this part's easy. Just remember, if it's equal to 0, you should continue, because that means they're equal, right? So you want to check the next set of things. It's just, I always forget this. Is with other is no. I think it's -1, but I'm not 100% sure. It just makes sense that it's -1. Because -1's like, oh, it failed. That's how I see -1, right? So many cases where that's the case. Okay. Now, let us make a summary of this. Represents a song with associated one or many. Well, I could spell really well today, huh? Associated with it. Inherits from the song base. This is something I would think to put into remarks. I'm getting better. I'm getting better at documenting shit. Not amazing, but I'm getting better. And that's what matters. Here's from song base. Yeah, okay. Right? That's all I would need to do for that. So that means in our task thing, I guess we've technically done it all. This is doing a dash, as in it doesn't really matter. This we don't really need to do. I mean, the toString, you might want to make it something at some point, but the main thing is comparable and equatable, because I'm going to do it in a, like, more of a menu system. I mean, the toString being that would be funny, but I don't think that's what it's meant to be for, you know, making, like, starting up a whole menu every time you print it. That's a funny idea, it's just not worth it. Yeah, so that's song entirely finished pretty much. Moving on to artist, I guess. Right? I mean, what else are we gonna do here? Pretty sure song is good now. So next object, artist.cs. Namespace, project.data.data models. As usual, we gotta put the file header. We have public record artist base. Alright, so what are we gonna do for artist base? Go back to task, see what we have to do. Right, so pretty similar, right? So we have public long ID get private set. We've got, no, yeah, maybe I should close these so I can be better at it. Okay, public string name get private set. Public long birth year get private set. Yep. Public string description get private set. And public string join date get private set. Cool. So then what we can do is we can say public artist base long ID string name long birth year string description and string join date. Right? So I'm going to say this.id equals ID, this.name equals name, this.birth year equals birth year, this.description equals description, and this.join date equals join date. So now let me document this, I guess. So represents, I have base class. What did I do for oh, I named it artist. Should have renamed it to artist base. There we go. Now let me open Songbase, see what I document here. Oh yeah, the base class for, oh, because this is wrong now. There we go. The base class for artist objects, dapper insertions, yeah, because of the C is a little more obvious. Doing the standard text, the auto increment ID, the artist, the name of the artist, the birth year of the artist, the description of the artist, and capitalized just to make it consistent. Okay, it's the ID of the artist, auto incremented. Auto incremented ID gets the name of the artist. Okay, gets the birth year of the artist, gets the description of the artist, gets the join date of the artist. Okay, Nice. I think that's it for artist base, right? I mean, it really is just that. Yeah. So I think that's that pretty much. Okay, time for the artist record. So new file, artist.cs, namespace project.data models, file header, public record, artist, which inherits from artist base, and also has comparable artist. Put the interface real quick. Oh, I can do that apparently. Neato. But it does protect it. So this is like, it just assumes, interesting. I don't know how I feel about that one. Well, I mean, it's like, yeah, I want to have it for both because I need to make both through SQL, right? So hold on, artist base. What was it? Name, birth year. String description. String join date. If I can spell right. Okay, let's say this ID, name, birth year, description, join date, right? And not this, but base. I just don't use base very often, so I always forget it. Okay. Which this won't be base, this will just be this. Or, you know, hold on, I tend to have you can do object initializers. If you have a parameterless constructor, Dapper loves this. Okay, that's an interesting one. So from what I can see here, the best way to do this is to make a specific record that holds the data but has no under meaning. But that in itself is what that is. Apparently you can map directly into artist data. I don't know how that would work. Alright. But yeah, if it has a parameterless constructor, then you can use this thing where you basically ignore the existence of a constructor. And then, that's an interesting one. Because having a parameterless constructor, the problem with parameterless constructors is that you have to be careful, right? Because some things can be null in that case, which is not ideal. So having no constructor for it would do that. But like, yeah, you could. But then, yeah, again, the idea is that you need a parameterless constructor. So that seems to be kind of the gist. So if you ever want to lower down this, if you ever feel like these lists are becoming obnoxious, a parameterless constructor is smarter. So that's meaning that this is practically pointless. But doing this poses a problem because name now needs a default, which is doable. So basically any reference type now needs to have a default to go down to, because they're not nullable. And they shouldn't be nullable because we don't want that in our database. So yeah, and now artist space is really simple. So now you really don't need anything else other than artist base. Right? Have base, base, something like that, right? So object initializers seem to have that. this won't even have a constructor. Wait, so you're saying no arguments. Yeah, and then you can already access them, so that's what it's telling me to do. Do it parameterless, you know? Which I think is better, because as long as you just say that every reference type, like a string, has like a value, like a default value to drop down to, it's no problem, in my opinion. Right. But now what exactly do we need to do? We need a long age. So we're going to get a public long age just to get. This age is going to be this dot birth year. Well, no, it's date time dot today dot year minus this dot birth year. Right, that's it. Gets the age of the artist. Done. Say this dot. I mean, yeah, this isn't one of those things you set, because it's just calculated after just doing that, right? Not quite that. And what else? So we've done this, done that. List of songs. Yeah, this is once again one of those things. Only do year. Just do like private list song underscore songs, or in their case songs, because for some reason they really want that. To prevent that from happening, you probably want to just do this and say this. And this dot songs equals new list song. Yeah, so you just initialize it. Private read only. What else? And then the string to string. Yeah, okay, that's literally it. I guess in theory what you could do is you can have it return a menu option. That's actually something you could do, yeah. For now, that's really all there is. There's not much else to add. Right? I just add standard text. Oh yeah, compare to. How are we going to do compare to? Well, I say int name equals this dot name dot compare to other dot name if other is null, return -1. Then yeah, if name is not equal to 0, return name. Then int, what else can I check? This dot quality contract. That's funny. Probably. Well, the other one is. The other one was songs descending, right? That's what I said. That'll be other dot songs dot count dot compare to this dot songs dot count. And if songs descending is not equal to 0, return songs descending. Now, lastly, what do we want to do? Just by join date, just like kind of like the other one, right? So you just return this dot join date dot compare to other dot join date, but that's not going to be comparing correctly because we need to replace it with public datetime join dates get private set. And I have to say public new. We can say gets the join date of the artist what do I do for a song? How do I do this for song? Gets the datetime object of release date. Gets the datetime object of is dot release date or join date. There we go. There we go. And then we'll also do this, which I might as well just copy paste from here, because that's a whole lot of text that I don't feel like rewriting. Artist, 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 artist. Yep. Great times. Okay, now represents an artist with one or many. It. There we go. Yep, I think that's it. Cool. Now I just need a song artist thing, which, yeah, if there's like extra data that you want to share in that, then yeah, you would have to make a base. Yeah, you have to make a derived class as well. But for now, we're just going to make a songartist.cs namespace project.data models public record song artist might also just be like a read-only struct in this case because it's public read-only record struct. This is shit that you're not going to be changing, so might as well do that. And now have a public long song ID get private set, public long artist ID get private set. And also do file header. Nation. Artist entities. Gets the oh no, because it's cannot have that because it's read only. Song ID. And here it gets the artist ID of the object. Gets the value of song.id, I guess. And then artist-based.id. Yeah, what else is there to say about this? Right? I mean, later we might add more, but for now that's all there is. So that would mean the MD is done. Again, I'm just going to put that and a dash. It's not quite done, but to do it, I would have to do some racky shit. Because what I'm planning to do is I want to have it be like returning the menu options within the class itself. So that like it creates a menu object that you can then use to go for old objects. But that's a little complicated for now. I think I'm going to leave it here. We did the things, and I'm going to push those. So I'm going to do all this stuff, and that'll be it for today, because I've done way too much shit, as usual. So add a stream abstraction for file.create to work with byte arrays. Yeah, byte utils. Class for retrieving byte array metadata. That's the artist song base. Created song base and song objects. The data models. As records. There we go. And then we can say artist space created artist and artist base records, artist base, data models as records, and then song artist, create song artist, data model for combining song base and artist base, data models together, or SQL queries. SQL, yeah, the reasons for, for like, you join them in SQL. Alright. Practically covers it, right? Yeah, pretty much covers it, yep. Then I can push that as well. So, it's published, so I'll just check out to dev branch and then pull from view song data models. Boom. Yep, do that. Alright. So yeah, we're not fully done with that. I kind of have like an idea of what I want to do there that I think would be really useful. But yeah, I'm done for today. It's like, 10:30 p.m. I gotta go to sleep. So have a good one.